Good afternoon, it's your girl Key, talking all things human potential, your greatness, what it is that you want for your precious life, the dreams or aspirations that you have that may have gone by the wayside because you may have overly invested in others. So let me know your thoughts. I'm here, I'm live, happy to take any questions you have about greatness, about your potential, and why you may not be living your best life, even though you do all you can. I want to be talking about your potential. Why have you got stuck? You know that you need to take responsibility for yourself. You need to take responsibility for your life and where you're at and what you want. No one's coming to save you. Where do you want to be? It's your girl Key. I'm here. I'm going live. Boy, it's bright outside, but damn is it cold. It is properly cold. How are you, my people? It's your girl Keely Taverner. We're here. We're talking about your greatness, what it is that you want for your life, where you feel stuck, where you want to be, what you should be doing, but what you're not doing about it. Come on. We've got to take responsibility for ourselves, people. Where do you feel stuck in your life? Where do you want to be, and what holds you back from your greatness? What do you keep prioritizing? What goes on the back burner when you know it should be up front? Let your girls Key know you are far from alone. I meet many people in many different realms. Yesterday I gave a talk for a business club. I was lovely, talking about, what it means to be self-employed, the challenge of being self-employed, but also the fact that you can have all the strategies you want in place, but until we look at our self-image, how we view, how we regard ourselves, then some of the dreams and aspirations we have will constantly kind of get pushed to the next year, pushed to the other year, because in some way there's three things generally that we're doing. We may be overly loyal to others. Are you overly loyal? Does your loyalty to others result in you becoming disloyal to yourself? Good question to ask. Does your loyalty to others result in you being disloyal to yourself? You have to pay attention to yourselves, my people. It's no joke out there. You got to be responsible for your life. The second thing, imposter syndrome. When we go into certain places and we feel like we're not good enough. Yeah, why we don't apply for the next job up, the next level up, and we stay stuck and we just kind of stay in the familiar. We'll be talking about your potential and your greatness. Have to pay attention to yourselves. I know, we all want that person. Child, how are you? Where are you? Let your mummy know. I see you, child. I see you. It's your girl, Keely Taverner. Quick live. It's the end of the month, people. We made it. We got through another month. Bring on April. Bring on just a little bit of heat. Just a little bit of heat in the sun rays would be helpful. Just get rid of them clouds. It would be helpful. What about your greatness? Well, granddaughter, how are you? Oh, my child. I'm good. Where are you, child? We're here. We're quick live. Just to check in with you. Where are you at? Where are you at on your journey? What's going on for you? Who's taking advantage? What ways are you sabotaging your own greatness? You see, we have to know how we are sabotaging our own greatness. And if you are of the view that if you hands down take responsibility for your life, if you like the notion of taking responsibility for your life, then we must understand that for whatever situation we find ourselves in, the question is always, one, what do I need to take responsibility for? Sometimes there's signs, we see signs, but we ignore them, they're inconvenient. Pay attention to signs, especially if you're someone who gets signs, if you're highly intuitive and you notice these things. What do you notice happens to you when you don't obey and pick up on signs? Therefore, we have to take responsibility for ourselves. No one did it to us in some way, shape, or form. We did it to ourselves. Let me know how much this resonates with you. Encourage your viewers to share your live and invite more friends. There you go. Job done. Thank you, TikTok. So where are you at? This is about your potential. This is about your life. One of the things I see time and time again is you know, individuals not happy with their life. We're not happy where we are. We want to be somewhere else. But what we often do is we abdicate responsibility for that. We're looking for others to give us the leg up. And we don't throw the seeds far. We keep it too small. And as I said to one of my clients, like, let's just put out lots of different things and let's see what germinates. You know, you don't want to just keep things in one small basket. You want to spread the load. Spread the load so that potentials can come up in lots of various places. Sometimes you put your eggs all in one basket and that ain't great for your greatness. Hi, good afternoon. I take too much responsibility, even if it's nothing to do with me. Disproportionate responsibility is not great for your greatness. Disproportionate responsibility is a very unhelpful trait because often it's not yours. It's not for you to take responsibility for. So you have to pay good attention to that. All things nice, feel free. Tell me the context. Give me a little bit of context around that in the ways that you do that so I get a deeper understanding. I might be able to give you some gems, or you might view them as cubic zirconias, but hey ho. Yeah, there is a benefit to taking responsibility for yourself. No two ways about it. But for many naive empaths, we can take disproportionate responsibility. And, you know, it's a bit like sometimes you see it at work. You know, you might be the person who always volunteers and then somehow you start to feel like and then you feel... for many empathic people, resentment is a really powerful emotion for us to pay attention to. Resentment is an indicator that you've given too much, done too much, gone above and beyond too much. If you know what I'm saying, give me a heart, give me a like. Pay attention to resentment. Resentment is your best friend. Resentment is the indicator that you've gone too far. So my question to you always is, if you have experienced resentment, ask yourself, what was my expectation? And sometimes there's nothing wrong with your expectations. However, ascertaining what your expectations are very helpful. Hello, Coco. Good to see you. Good to see you. Feel free to share the live with your friends and your foes. It's your girl, Keely Taverner, here talking all things greatness, talking about your potential, talking about what it is that you want for your life. Some of us are so busy investing, going above and beyond for others. When I ask this question, when people want to have a call with me, they're dumbfounded. Why? Because there is a lack of self. The self has become an object to facilitate the lives of others. I call it a facilitative object. You've become a facilitative object. And we know objects don't have feelings. So why would anybody consider that you have feelings when all they do is see you as someone who facilitates their lifestyle? If you know what I'm talking about, give me a heart, give me a like, because it ain't easy out there. As my daughter said to me, the roads are cold, mummy. The roads are cold. And I totally agree. And she's not talking Fahrenheit. Absolutely. So what is it that you want for yourself? Where do you want your life to be? And where do you find yourself continuously going around in those vicious cycles that are not great for your greatness? What patterns do you need to break? What cycles? As I said to somebody, listen, I ain't no mystic, Meg. I ain't got a magic ball. But once we see patterns, once we see themes, you can always make predictions, right? We make predictions about the future. If you continue to stay in the same patterns and doing things the same way time and time again. Pattern recognition is the first step. Noticing your patterns is the first step. But there are other things once you start to recognize, oh, this is a familiar pattern in my life. What do you want to do to break that? What do you need to do to break free? Firstly, all we need you to do is to just notice what you notice. Add your active followers, admin. Yeah? Well, you want to start to notice what you notice. Pay attention. Many of us, when I ask, where would you want to be if you worked with me? What do you see for yourself? What would be the outcome that you would want. Do you know how tricky it is for many people pleasers to even consider the notion of what they want for their life, because they're so busy in everybody else's lives, facilitating everybody else, getting upset on because they're not prioritizing, they're not seeing. Do you see yourself? Dear empathic people, you have to learn to recognize that you have needs. And the way many of us have set up our lives, we've spoiled people. They've become entitled. So is it any surprise that they don't see us as having no needs? We done did it to ourselves, but we came from a good place. That's why empaths need to link up. We need to join forces. We want good people to be with good people. Many people preach, but we'll always be able to see from the behavior. Behavior is key. If you know what I'm talking about, behavior is key. Many of the ladies, we get seduced by the verbals. Come on, let's be having it. We hear what they say, it sounds wonderful. And then when you get frustrated, you said this, you said that. But when you saw the anomaly between word and deed, what did you do? Swept it under the rug. We sweeping. Not great for your greatness. You have to pay attention to the ways you do it to yourself. When we don't call it out, when we make justifications and excuses, not great for your greatness, if you know what I'm talking about. So my question to you is, what are the ways you sabotage your greatness? What are the ways that you remain stuck going around in vicious cycles? Let your girl Key know you are not alone. Charge. I wonder why. Appreciate the love, appreciate the roses. You know, I got my guy who I always donate my roses to. I really appreciate that. I hope it was of benefit to him. I truly do. Shigal Kili Taverna. So one of the ways we sabotage our own success, our own involvement, is you have to be very mindful of who's in your circle. Who's in your circle? Because some of us, we know that certain folk ain't good for us. Empaths, people pleasers, you tend to be oversharers. I had a conversation today with an individual. She said, oh, I wear my heart on my sleeve. Okay, cool, nice. However, it's not always wise. That's why I'm encouraging people to learn the skill of discernment. Not all truths should be told. This is wisdom. That's my builder. He's so annoying. Yeah? That's wisdom. Not all truths need to be told, my people. And we need to remember this. Discernment is where you decide, I'm going to give you a little piece, but not a whole pie. Lemon pound cake, if anybody been watching that story. That's very interesting, right? You don't want to give them the whole pie. You exercise discernment. You only say so much. Don't let the whole cat out of the bag. But because we are often, us dear-hearted empaths, highly sensitive peoples, good up folk, we tend to give away too much. And then people, interestingly, use that as ammo to shoot back at us. You ever had that? Where you shared, you might have been a little bit vulnerable, and then all of a sudden they push it right back on you. Not nice, not great for your greatness. Therefore, we are learning. These are situations where we need to learn who we should be talking to, how much we should be sharing, because some people are not worthy of our vulnerability. But like I said, us people pleasers have an over tendency to overshare. If you're an oversharer, Coco, I see you. Be mindful. Be mindful. What would it be like for you to speak less, listen more? Oversharing is not helpful to you because we are often indiscriminate about what we say, and then that can be used as evidence against us. Ishigal Kili Taverna, I'm here, I'm live, wanting to answer, feel free, any questions you have about your potential, about the dream you have for your life. Where do you want to be? Some of us are in lackluster situations where we're overlooked, undermined, we're invisible, we might be ignored. It's the reality of it. If that keeps on happening to you in your life, there's a very good reason for it. You want to change that, it's your responsibility. And I don't care what anybody did to you yesteryear. Unfortunately, the way this game works, is you have to take responsibility for your greatness. Many of us are fearful of the next step. We're fearful of the unknown. So what do? We go round, round, round in vicious cycles. If that makes sense to you, let your girl Key know. Don't want to invest in yourself, but you invest in others, and then you wonder why am I sad? Why am I depressed? Go doctors, they're going to give you some form of medication. You got a flash goal. What is a flash goal, TikTok? A flash goal pin. I don't know what a flash goal is, but if anybody does, free gifters, send love you so much to this live. Thank you. How can I invest in myself? Coco, inbox me, girl, or go to keyforchange.com. It's as simple as that. If you are ready to upgrade your life and you're tired of being tired, look at my eyes are tired. It's about you taking that next step. It's about you taking that next step to say, you know what, I'm ready to focus on me. It's my time. When is going to be your time? No one is coming to save you. I don't know when we're going to get it. Oops, upside your head. Say, oops, upside your head. I appreciate that. Thank you, Moses. I appreciate that. I see you, Jane. Shigal, Kili Tavana. So firstly, you have to know what you want for your life. But one of the reasons why your affirmations, you're doing your yoga, your meditation, all of it don't really hit. Had a client once and she's like, Keely, I need to talk to you. Not even the Reiki's working anymore. Of course the Reiki is not going to work. You know, it'll give you a certain amount of relief, but there comes a point where you got to get underneath what's going on. What's going on in your life? If you're stressed, you know, what are the things that are stressing you out in your life? What do you need to look at? What needs to change? Many of us, we've set ourselves up and we've spoiled people. And now when we want to do something for self, there's a heartbreak. Thank you, Evoking Belonging. Thank you, my sister. I appreciate you. It's good to be here. Good to be here, talking all things about your greatness. You know how much potential there is in you? You are born with potential. Is that my girl, Big G? I see you. Evoking Belonging. Greetings, sis. Blessing to all. Saturday soup a boil. Where you there? Evoking Belonging. I'm going out today. Send me your postcode. Let me come drink two soup. No chicken foot though. Not down with the chicken foot soup. Chicken foot's too far. I was born in England, you know what I'm saying? But I eat the dumpling and rare. Yeah? Big up, my sister. What do you want for your life? Where do you want to be? And don't you find life goes quick, fast? And then look at now, it's April. Now we're thinking about Easter. What would it mean for you to invest in yourself? You see, the difference between you and I, you know, there's no difference. Well, there is a difference. I have a dream, you have a dream. Everybody has a dream. Chicken foot there. Oh, you're proper hardcore. Come now, chicken foot there in a... Yes, what? You're real Jamaican. Real mad fast. I started my course in December. I got 2 months left. You see what I'm saying? I love your message today. Yeah, man. What do we want for our lives? People associate me with pure narcissistic abuse. The truth of it is narcissistic abuse is only one dimension. Once we get that bozo out of the way, once we see all of the dynamics that interplay, it is actually about how you downgrade, low grade yourself, which is why narcissistic individuals can come in and do what they do. I know everybody feels like they're confident, but these people tap into vulnerabilities that may not be in your conscious awareness. If you know what I'm talking about, put conscious awareness. I got a comedy gig tomorrow. I'm at Brown Sugar in Holborn. Gonna be talking all things being a fusion of flavors. I'm not mixed, I'm a fusion. Sometimes you have to reclaim your power and give yourself your own name. Evoking Belonging. Thank you, my sister. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I always share my my tokens with my little friend there. Conscious what? But please repeat. I can't even remember what I said. So give me some context of what I said. And yes, thank you. I'll be doing Brown Sugar. I've been on at them for months for my comedy gig. I'm also doing Iron Appa with a range of other comedians in May. It's coming up soon, you know. I got to sharpen my game. I can't fail. I can't get booed off stage. I got to come tough. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let me know. You asked us to please put conscience something in the chat because narcissists, listen, people think it's interesting. People think that's what I deal with. I don't deal with narcissists generally because they're never the problem, are they? Everybody else is. I help my people pleasers, my empathic, my good-hearted people who have got to the point where they're baffled why their life is like this. And if you understand that, then actually once we push that to one side, we need to understand you. We need to understand why you sell yourself short, why you go above and beyond, why you say yes when you want to say no. We need to understand the ways you sabotage yourself and the patterns that you're in that has got everybody suckling from you, draining you dry. If you know what I'm talking about, put dry in the comments. Yeah? We have to know this. Because it's one of the reasons your dreams don't manifest. But if you may notice, other people are able to leverage from you. And if you want the upgradation in your life, it is actually your responsibility to put your best foot forward. No one ain't doing this to you. You are doing it to yourself. And taking responsibility for yourself is particularly annoying at times, I can't lie. I liked being a victim back in the day, but very painful. Because if I was a victim, it's, oh God, how could they do this to me? I was so nice. I went above and beyond. I loved so hard. Yes, that's true. However, there were things I saw, things I didn't like that I swept under the rug because I didn't want to face it. And it's okay. It's all right, Miss Taverner. I don't beat up on myself. Some of them like us green and naive. If you know what I'm talking about, put green like grass. Green like grass, they like us green. And then when we wise up, we level up. And it's a whole nother left field. If any of you look at your ex and think, what was going through my head back then? Give me a heart, give me a like, let me know I'm not alone out here. It's serious times. And for all the ladies looking for love in 2026, who've been through the mayhem, if you've been through the mayhem, through the fire and the brimstone and hailstone, let your girl Key know. I know. It's not easy, is it? But remember, ladies, many of us never go on to love again, you know. And I think that's the ultimate tragedy, that you never go on to love again. So you stay in the same, you just stay by yourself. And whilst there is space for safety, you can't grow in your comfort zone. A ship is safe in the harbour, but it's not built for the harbour. What do you want for your life? What is your dream? What is your ambition? And it's got to have nothing to do with your kids. It's got to be for you. This is the one thing I see with mums. Mums, often everything is pushed out to their children. And then what about you? What about your own life? What is something you want for yourself? Oh, that's selfish. No, it's not. It's self-indulgent, because if you don't attune to you, if you've got a pebble in your shoe, you can't be telling Derek that you got a pebble in your shoe. Derek ain't gonna feel your pain. The pebble in your shoe is in your shoe, and it is for you to contend with. No? Am I lying? Am I lying? No one knows the pain of the shoe in the shoe but you. So you need to take off the shoe and knock it out to have the freedom. This is a symbolic sign about how we might live our lives. I'm using the shoe as an example to talk about your life. What is your dream? Many of us, as we get up in age, pick up all the 45 pluses. It happened, innit? All of a sudden, innit? We're getting up. I'm nearly 50 now. 2 years. 2 years till we're 50. We give thanks and praise. What do you want for you? Like, name your dream. Oh, I don't like to say, because if you don't like to say, often that might be because people pee on your dreams. They downgrade you, or they look at you like, who do you think you are? You can't do X, Y, Z, which reaffirms something in yourself. First thing, stop telling those people your dreams. Learn to talk your dreams and aspirations with safe people. It is possible, but you have to take responsibility for that. You have to take responsibility for that. And like I said, when we're talking about a dream, this isn't couple goals. This isn't about all for the family. It's about you being self-indulgent. Self-care is not selfish. We are learning to practice healthy selflessness, because we're practicing healthy selfishness because we've been perpetually selfless. And where's that got us? Frustrated, annoyed, depressed. It's your season. If it's your season And I'm not talking all purpose. Let your girl Key know. If it's your season and you are ready for something different in 2026 because you are tired of being tired, you're tired of the vicious cycles, you're tired of the lovely stories that they're talking about, but nothing really changes, let your girl Key know. We must learn to be unapologetic about our dreams. And if they come along and they don't like the dream, that's their business. Many of us sacrifice our dreams in the pursuit of love. Next thing you know, you are sitting in front of the television every Thursday watching Coronation Street at 7:30. You know what I'm saying? Your life just got humdrum. If you're not here for the humdrum life and you have the audacity to want more for yourself, welcome. It's good to see you. It's good to put yourself first. My word for the year is rise. Oh, that's a beautiful word. Listen. Oh my gosh, I'm so delighted you're here, dear Flamingo Writer. The woman writes with listen, follow her page. She is an amazing writer. I listen to what you write and it moves my soul, man. Still wish I got to see in English at school. I still wish I got to see it. I read that and I'm like, man, if I would have gone to a private school, had that good tuition, maybe I could write like that. One of the editors for my book, Josh, she told me to read a book called Eat, Shoots and Leaves, to help me with grammar. And she also told me that grammar was taken out of education, I think during the 80s as well, which was when I was being educated. So it's very interesting. You see, these are the things I'm talking about that sometimes we carry as an inadequacy of self. One of the things I'm happy to do, one, because I'm a therapist and self-disclosure is better for me because then I'm not talking anybody else's business, is say, for example, you didn't do well at school, you carry a deep inadequacy about yourself and then you just keep yourself there and you never rise up, right? So you carry a deep inadequacy. You might think you're not smart, you're not brilliant. And so you kind of just stay there. Listen, as someone who left school with no GCSEs and some piece of advice, which was don't come back, go find a college. There is a different way to learn. Some of us, we're in these mainstream places and they're not geared for the individual. This is the beauty of adult education. Adult education is a different gameplay. I went back to education as a 20-year-old woman with 2 children. And trust me, when you're 20 years old with 2 kids, you're on your Todd, yeah? You learn differently. You learn because you know you want to get up out of your situation. Yeah, you learn differently because you know that if you don't fix up, look sharp, your children and yourself are going to have some sort of struggle life. And I didn't want that for them. Trust me, I learned to mind map. Listen, I'll go there. Yeah? Try education, try short courses as an adult because you may realize that you're not who you think you were or what your script or what you were told about you at school. I'm a massive advocate of City Lit. They are based in Keeley Street in Holborn. Try out a short course. Do something different. See what you're made of. Test yourself. Many of us get caught up here in the doom scroll. When was the last time you did something different? When was the last time you took responsibility? When was the last time you said, you know what, let me go. I went to City Lit. Next thing, I'm looking at flamingo dancing courses. Who knew? But my soul resonated with it. Did I do the flamingo dancing classes? No, I didn't. But I acknowledged that there was something about it that resonated with me. Maybe there is a dancer within me, who knows, that wants to be expressed. I haven't chosen to express that at this current time. But that's the beauty of returning to education as an adult. Do a short course. Don't feel like you've got to do a degree or a master's or anything. We just want something short and sweet. Get the little cogs turning again. And you'll soon realize I may not be who I thought I was. Many talents, many gifts, many potentials that are unnurtured. I've done that so many years. And then I said in September, good for you. What gave you the push in September to return to education? I carry that deep inadequacy. I see you, sister. I feel you, sister. You're not alone. You're not alone, right? You're not alone. What you have to learn to do is to befriend and start to listen to that inner voice when you're I call it the inferiority complex. All it is an inferiority complex. It's how you feel inferior. You need to start to befriend that. If you want to know any more, because it gets very personal, it's very unique to you. What I will say about my own inferiority complex, I talked about this yesterday at the business show. I went into a golf club on Tuesday, and it was a very plush venue. And as I walked in my good shoe, you know, we put on the good shoe, I heard the voice saying, "Ooh, don't you feel uncomfortable coming in here?" And I can answer the voice back, "Of course not. I've earned my stripes. I step in boldly, head held high, shoulders back." So what I'm trying to demonstrate to you is the voice of inadequacy may not go, but it don't have the same potential and power over you. So the more that you expose yourself to difference, I was really surprised it even crept in, but you know what it is? We are human beings. We are amazing. But I noticed it popped in, and I was able to answer back to it because I've earned my stripes. We hold our head up. And so that's the power of finding your thing. That's the power of you drilling into your passion. Remember, what I do came from trauma, came from baby father drama. Anybody had some baby father drama? And here I am 20 years later, 27 years later, in a very different circumstance. Let me know what questions you have. I'm still going through that pain, but I understand it better and I deal with it better with purpose. Deal with it now. That's beautiful to hear. That's beautiful to hear. Remember, some of us, we were brought up with a deep sense of inadequacy based on our situations, based how we were parented. You know, some of us, you know, there's pecking orders in families. If you weren't the golden child, then you were the dusty child. If you was the dusty child, not the golden child, then there is, you know, a correlation with that. That maps over into our adult life. Big up to all the kids who were the dusty children or the truth tellers in families. Yeah? You was definitely I know, it's horrible. Because you know what, Sister Big G? We will spend our whole adult life overcoming that programming. And it's okay, because as long as you see it as the journey, as something that is a part of your life that you become mindful of, you make the pain purposeful. Make the pain purposeful. We can't undo the past, but from the present, from this now, we have the capacity to change the future by virtue of what we sow in the now. What I'm sowing today will have benefits for tomorrow. I am recreating the future by virtue of what I sow in today. This is why we have to be careful of the doom scroll, my people. You have to be, because it's stealing your attention. And if it's stealing your attention, how can we create? How can we read? How can we ingest? How can we learn? And I know these platforms can be very good for learning, but I tell you what, I know a lot of people that spit a good game. Oh, they spit a good game. They've been on the tiki-toki education programs. They know all the terms, all the verbs. However, there's a slight disconnect between word and behavior. Word and behavior. Word and behavior. If you want to see the true caliber, watch how someone moves. Ladies, do not be seduced by the lyrics. Pay sharp attention to behavior. The truth will set you free. Although it might upset you first. If you know what I'm talking about, give me a heart, give me a like. Let me know I ain't alone out there, because it's some serious times. And I'm not just talking petrol prices. I mean, I have to start walking soon. It's serious out there. Yes, I did, but it's all good because my pain is purposeful. Now, like you say, hence September. How are you getting on with them assignments? I know you had 6. You must be down to 4 now, sister. Come on, you got this. You have got this. It will be done. It is done. I remember, oh God, the assignments. Oh, no joke. No joke, man. A real battle. And I remember my room used to be just littered with books. But I tell you, right, when I was done, that tidying process, and I left it messy. It had to be messy because I was in process. This is what it means to live your dream. And many of us will not take a chance on ourselves. We are looking for others to see us, to notice our greatness. You want others to invest in you and you won't invest in yourself. I remember when I worked in the prison, to become a psychologist, you had to keep applying for this master's that the government, the job would pay for. And there was a scrum every year of all these assistant psychologists applying. And I don't like scrums. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like a scrum, I just thought, you know what? I'm not putting myself in there. I'm not putting myself in no scrum for them to reject me again and again and again. Some say I may have manifested it. Who cares? I'm not into the scrum. So I paid for my own master's. Plus, I paid for a course that I wanted to do. I didn't necessarily want to become a forensic psychologist. I don't want to be stuck in prisons for my entire career. So investing in yourself is a game changer. For one, as I used as this example, I ain't looking to join the scrum. I'll pay. I'll find a way. God always makes a way. Who needs to remember that a way is always found? Because sometimes we forget. I think sometimes we forget. Can't keep it just on the surface level. There's like dimensions to live in. If you're a fifth dimensional liver, if you know about the fifth dimension, give me a heart, give me a like, let me know I'm not alone out there. Because we go way off the reading list. Wasted time to quiet the voices before I felt I could start. Started and the noise is less. Isn't exactly so true? When you actually start, when you say, yeah, you know what sometimes I've realized it's actually worse in your head. I'm reading cybernetics at the moment. And the truth is, and this is the problem with living in this knowledge age we have. I see people come and this talking a lot of good game because they've been learning on the tickety-tocky, right? But actually none of that knowledge is infused into behavior. So what is the challenge? The challenge is the most important thing is experience. As you, dear Flamingo, say, once you do it, the voice is quietened. The longer you don't do it is the more the voices become empowered. My question to you is, what decision do you need to make today to level up yourself? Something for you, something that is about a passion. Remember, often our passions are steeped in our childhood. Key, I don't know what I want to do. Key, I don't know what I want to be. No problem. What did you love as a kid? And if you really want to know, go to my website, keyforchange.com, download my bucket list. A bucket listing session is always a powerful one. A bucket list always gives you right insight straight away into what a human loves. Do my bucket list. You will start to discover yourself. You'll start to discover the things that enliven you. Is that a word? Is that a word, dear Flamingo? Enliven. Well, it sounds good anyway. Yeah? That give you life. Yeah? The things that you think, oh, I'd love to do that. Yeah, that's something I'd love to do. There are the answers. Thank you, my sister. You're helping me today. Yeah, this is where we want to pay attention to the things that give you a sense of life, that spark a fire in you. That's where the answers are. And that's what we need to pay attention. What do you love? What do you need to do that is an utter indulgence just for you? I remember one of my clients, we did the bucket list together, and then he saw on the bucket list, it was fly first class. And he's like, Key, came back. He's like, Key, I've booked the first class ticket. Oh, that gives me life. I wonder how he is. Send him them blessings, right? Always like, what do you love? If you were stuck at an airport and there was, there's the newsstand over there, what would you buy? What area in the bookshop? If you went into the bookshop, what area would you be drawn to? Would it be sports, psychology, history? What would you naturally be drawn to? Flow states is another one we need to talk to when you're in a flow state where time just runs by and you're like, oh, it's 5 o'clock already. I can get on flow states in lives. I can get in flow states with clients. And I knew I had it the other day. You look at the clock, you're like, how? Whoa, time collapses. When you're in a flow state, what are the things that you can do where you get into a flow state where when you're so engrossed, you look up and you're like, oh my God, that's where time collapses. Nah, I don't, that's all I can say about that. I know there's other people that go far off into some other realms about that. That's not my lane. I'm That's not my lane, but I know when time collapses. Time collapses when you're in flow states because you just love what you do. Doom scrolling is not a flow state, by the way. Doom scrolling, you dooming, and then the next thing you know, you're like, bloody hell, me 100% battery is nearly finished, right? Or, my God, it's 3 a.m. already. That's not a flow state. Flow state is not a flow state. Flow state is about creation and doing something that you love, where you're just so engrossed in it. You see this in children. That's why if you're at a point in your life where you don't know what you want to do, think about what you loved as a child. Think about some of the things that you might have been denied as a child. Even think about some of the things you saw other people do that you may have wished you had done as a child. Therein lies some of the clues. God always gives us sign, however you refer to him. If you're not a believer, you might as well scroll on, because you did that yesterday. What did you specifically do yesterday? What is it that you did yesterday? What was giving you life? What did you notice? What did you observe about yourself? Because I believe we've all got our unique gifts. And when we get signs, and little ways are made forward, a way out of no way, like trust, lean into that, invest in that, put your money on that. And the reason you need to put money behind it is because people don't have the same respect for freeness. If I charged for my webinars, I do free webinars, feel free, go to my profile, you can sign up there. And my coach talks to me about this, is if you charge people, you have a higher a rate of people show up, because people don't value freeness. It holds no value. When you charge, it's a different game. You have much more commitment. Look, if you live in London, you get the free newspaper, The Metro, free. Back in the day, there weren't no free newspaper. When I used to go on the train and see a little newspaper, you'd be happy. You feel like, yes, the sun is shining on me today. What happens now? They're free. No one's interested. They are just discarded. Many of us, let's take that analogy even further. You give away too much and you're not valued. You show up for everything. If someone texts, you're the first person to respond. Is this lipstick gone off? Yeah? You're the first person to respond. You're just always there. You're like the fourth emergency service. Listen, sometimes you need to sit back down. Humans are very resourceful. If you don't show up, someone will show up. Humans will always find a way to make something work. You don't have to be the fourth emergency service. If you've put yourself in the most knackering position of becoming the fourth emergency service, put 999 in the comments. Let me see you. Come on, man. It's safe to expose yourself here. It's only us. I'm never good at putting lipstick on anyway. I always go around the circle, around the circles. And when my makeup team come in it, we pray, we will manifest. Yeah? You was Des 999, I see you. Yeah. If you made yourself the fourth emergency services, not great for your greatness. You have trained people unintentionally to resort to you. And the problem when we start to change is, it's like removing the nipple from the baby's mouth. They're going to be searching for it. If you've ever breastfed, you know what I'm talking about. You know when a baby's searching for the nipple. If you've made yourself the 999 emergency services, the fourth emergency service, when you remove the nipple, there will be head shaking. You will make people's lives incredibly inconvenient. If you know what I'm talking about, give me a heart, give me a like. Yes? Understand that. And there will be backlash. It's a part of the process. Your growth is inconvenient for them. Convenient for you, not convenient for them. The problem for you is if you turn around and be like, oh, validate me. Don't you think it's so good that I'm doing all of these things? You just made life doubly difficult for yourself. Because they won't have the courage to tell you your growth is inconvenient for me. I liked using you as the fourth emergency service. It was very valuable. No one's going to tell you that. They don't need you to know that. That's too much data. There's you oversharing, telling them chapter and verse, and they're undersharing. They don't need to know. They don't need you to know that. That's a problem for them. That's a problem for them. We got to wise up. We got to wise up in serious times. The psychological dynamics are no joke. People will make you feel bad for doing something for yourself. Oh, Key, I can't do that. I can't do that, Key. Oh, I feel too guilty. Well, how about learning this? The guilt will come. Expect the guilt. Do something for yourself. Expect guilt. What do we say to ourselves? I notice. This is what you say. This is how you begin to observe your reaction rather than to be integrated with it. What you're going to say to yourself is, I notice the guilt. I'm observing the guilt, and I will not react to the guilt. We're just going to let it marinate like chicken on a Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? Pick up all the thyme crew with your seasonings and so on and so forth, yeah? Soaking the peas overnight. That's all we're going to do. We're going to notice the guilt. We're going to let it marinate. We're not going to make any choices, any decisions. Guilt will have you reacting like buckaroo. Yes, it will. Guilt will have you reacting like buckaroo. Guilt is something we need to learn to respond to. I notice my guilt. I will add to basket anyway. I notice the guilt. I will not be controlled by guilt. If they control you by guilt, be mindful. Because all they have to do is evoke a guilt reaction in you and get you to do what favors them. Am I lying? If you've got some manipulative mofos in your life, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's why responding to guilt is your power play. Let the guilt marinate like chicken on a Sunday night. Let's sit. Let's soak to the bones. We ain't making any maneuvers when we notice guilt. We observe the guilt within us. By observing, we are detaching from it. Because when we don't, we're integrated with it and we react, and they get what serves them. 2 minutes later, you're walking off thinking, why did I say yes again? Can't believe this. How am I going to do this? Oh my God. Am I lying? If you know, you know. If you know it's no joke out there, let your girl Key know. All of these are factors that hinder you from your own greatness. There is potential, innate potential within you. The dreams, the things you love, what you loved as a child, they're all clear signs. There may be something in there that you need to reinvigorate in your life. That's a beautiful word, reinvigorate. If you need to reinvigorate some of your passions in your life, let your girl Key know. Yes, I did this week. And as soon as I realized now, I'm backing off, even if it is to do with my daughter. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Guilt. Kids. Bloody hell. Mom, I need a new iPhone. How much is it? £500. And now we feel, but all my friends have got it. Well, you better think about what you need to do. Yeah? Or is it parent pressure? You have to pay good attention. Guilt is the supreme way that you're often controlled. It's one of the crucial factors in controlling relationships, guilt. But because guilt is so incredibly uncomfortable, we don't want to sit with it. So now you observe it. You just want to observe it. We react. We want to learn to respond. And because if we've been people pleasers all of our life, you know, this is the beauty of starting to slow down. So you begin to notice. I suffer from mum guilt. I hate it. It makes me depressed. Well, I mean, guilt, there's two types of guilt in my view. Well, there's probably lots more, but I'm just going to reference two for today. There's reactive guilt. I did a video on this years ago. You might have to check my YouTube. But there's two types of guilt. One, let's say, if I say to a friend, I'm meeting you on a Tuesday and I don't turn up, I feel guilty about that. I feel like I let myself down. That's healthy guilt. If I feel guilty because I said no to my friend bringing down her 5 kids while she goes on a 2-week holiday, then I need to just learn to sit with that. That's what is it, reactive? I can't even remember. If I think too hard, I'll lose my train of thought. Healthy guilt is like, yeah, I let my friend down. My conscience irks me. You know what I'm saying? When your conscience irks you, pay good attention. The other type of guilt is the manipulative, controlling one. Mummy guilt, it depends on the context. I was a single mum. I was working. I was studying. I wasn't a school-run mum. I wasn't the mum that showed up at the fete. I wasn't on the PTA. Do I carry guilt about that? Hell to the yay. But as my coach, my NLP teacher once said to me, she said, what are your intentions? What are your intentions? What are your intentions? And my intentions are good. My intentions are good. So I had to free myself from that. Because trust me, if I didn't do what I did, I'd still be on IKEA checkouts right now saying, excuse me, it's £1.25 for the blue bag. It's £1.25 for the blue bag. Please, can you leave the yellow bag behind? Yeah? So I'm saying, so some mummy guilts we have to hold, especially if we chose a bozo for a daddy. You know what I'm saying? We just got to hold it because no one's coming to rescue us and we got to be in the alpha. We got to hunt. Darwin, you know what I'm saying? We got to hunt, so we can't, you know what I'm saying? We got to just sit with that. It is what it is. Sorry, not sorry. Because if you sit down and you don't do nothing, that's a problem. You know, sometimes mums, we got to understand we're going to get it either way. Sometimes I feel like I should have stayed on IKEA checkouts. But that wouldn't have been great for my greatness. We had to make a move. And so often, sometimes there are unintended consequences. It wasn't my ambition to not be there for the school run, the PTA, and be on the front row at school assemblies. It weren't my intention. But there were unintended consequences as I took responsibility for my life and had the audacity to want better. Mummies, we got to check ourselves. Our intentions are often good. We have to remind ourselves. Depends what you're doing though. But if you're going out every night trying to find a man in the disco, putting on your push-up bra and your miniskirt, you might need to feel a bit guilty about that. Yeah, you need to be there for your kids. You know what I'm saying? But mine weren't like that. I weren't discoing it. I was down in a library trying to understand Freud. Yeah? I was trying to understand Freud and the madness that they were dealing with. Trying to write an essay. Trying to work out there, or there. Because my English was that bad. T-H-E-E. Oh, Lord. Make myself laugh. Yeah, mum guilt, you got to learn to... It depends what you're doing, girl. You've got to check yourself. Like, what are you doing? Are your intentions good? Ask yourself. As if you listen to my lives, you know, I always say, ask self-inquiring questions. Self-inquiring questions are, I feel guilty as a mummy. And the question is, and what are my intentions? What are my intentions? If your intentions is to find stepdaddy number 12, that's a problem. Sorry, not sorry, we don't judge. However, we know it's not healthy. Depends what you're doing. But if your intentions is to sow today for a better tomorrow, hallelujah, sister. Communicate with your kids. See if there's anything that needs to change. Understand what it might be that they hold this, what it is, what is going on. There might be tweaks that you can say. Oh, I feel you on that one, sister. The English is so testing me right now, but I get there. Absolutely. At least we got ChatGPT now. That can help. My intentions are good to better her life. My good intentions are good to better her life. My intentions are good to better her life. This may sound bizarre, but I'm going to encourage you to think about how your intentions are good for your life. I know it's difficult as mums to consider that what we might do may not only be in service of children, but I've seen enough mums who are so focused on their children that they forget themselves. Sometimes the children become a little bit entitled as well. Sorry, not sorry. They become a little bit entitled. You know what I'm saying? Also think about how it also improves yours, because you are also a human being. You are also a human being. I always put my daughter first, and now I'm getting it thrown back in my face. So now they can see, yes, my intentions that are pure, but sometimes people have to learn the hard way to see. That was meant to say my intentions are good and had to better my life. Not now. My daughter feels so entitled. The way she speaks recently, I'm that girl. I'm over-focused on her happiness, to be honest. If you're overly focused on the children's happiness, it's a challenge. You might be gonna create, like I said, I've used that word, you might create entitlement, and also the expectation that they will always be put first, and that's not healthy, especially if you're single mums, because what's going to happen if you do find a partner, they're going to be incredibly resentful because they've been used to having you 1000% for them. The children may also have a big resentment anytime you do anything for yourself. I see your sister, Shah Baba. I see you, my queen. I got goosebumps for you, sis. Hopefully I'll see you later. Yeah, you're going to create resentment. I may even be so bold to encourage you to question whether you spoil them. Some of us have spoiled the kids because we overcompensated because the daddy was whatless. Yeah? We might have overdone it. And now as the child get up in age, Mikey bless, yeah? Houston, we have a bit of a problem. Inbox me because some of this stuff gets personal and it's a very delicate matter. It's a very delicate matter when it comes to our kids. Remember, sometimes, mamas, we have to remember our intentions. Often our intentions are good. I'm not saying, you know, mums aren't all perfect. And actually, mums get a really heavy time in therapy, often because we're the main carers, you know. Yes, Shah, I see you. How you doing, Mikey? Long time. You crossed my mind today. Hope you're okay. You actually crossed my mind today. Yeah? It's not easy out there. It's not easy out there. But be careful with those kids with the overcompensation. They won't thank you for it. And if you think about it through the lens of masculine, feminine energy, remember some of the kids, if there isn't robust male figures or a father figure around, they're overexposed to the feminine with a lack of masculine energy as well. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. Well, depends how far down the rabbit hole we want to go today. For now, we'll keep it fairly light. Yeah? So if they're overexposed to the feminine energy, there's a lack of masculine energy, there can be challenges around that too. Yeah? It's challenging, you know. It is challenging, but we want to be careful of those kids that come out resentful and then want to cuss you off for it as well. Cuss you. Like, whoa, hold on. Yeah. The game, they're cheeky. Yes. Thank you for this. It's well received. My sister, I'm honoured to hear that, because sometimes I speak truths that people are uncomfortable, but I'm not backwards at coming forwards. I'm a straight shooter. I'm not the therapist that goes sit there and go like, okay, yes. And what was that like for you? No, let's roll up our sleeves. Let's get in there. I think you have to have something for yourself. This is why empty nest syndrome is such a big deal for people when the kids go off to uni, because what's happened is they've lived a symbiotic life. The child and the mother, especially with us single mamas, the kid and the child, there's a fusion that happens, if that makes sense. It's called symbiotic. You might have to Google the word. But what you want to have is you want to have your own identity. And you want to let them have their own. If you over mollycoddled, we are creating problems for ourselves. If you're over mollycoddled, over compensated, it bites you on the ass as they get older. Thank you for the ice, well received. You're amazing. Carla Sins. Oh, thank you, C. I try. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, girl. Payday. How's payday going for people? How's your money going? You juggling it all right? You put some savings away? Not necessarily always so easy, but payday could be save day, depending on your situation. Sometimes even a little bit can help. Right, well, I've done the puzzle. It's now 15:41. I am honoured to have spoken with you. Hopefully I've been of inspiration to somebody out there. And if anything I've said has left you with more questions and answers, feel free, inbox me or go to key4change.com. I am a qualified, not no 2-bit coach that did some Udemy course, yeah? Psychotherapist, yeah? 4 years I had to sit in circle time and cry my eyes out to get where I am. Yeah, some proper training, not no online training. We sat in a barn in a field somewhere and cried out our souls as we developed the art of. See, training as a therapist, you have to deal with your own vulnerability before you can deal with anybody else's. You know what I'm saying? That's why you guys got to be careful of them charlatans out there. I may not have my trillion views right now. Some of you are getting caught up with the people with the trillion. You know, some of them, they're not too righted. Be careful of cults, especially to my people pleasers. We are very vulnerable to cults. You have to look after yourself. You understand? It's your girl, Keely Taverner. I am a psychotherapist who's passionate about helping my empaths understand themselves so they can live an empowered, good life. Remember, caring is never a curse. Usually, we're throwing pearls after swines. And you have to work out where best your pearls are preserved. Do take care of you, because if you don't, peace.